Fairy Tale with Eldon Yale. I have my guest. She may, I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. Are you my co-host or are you just a guest?
We have these mugs. We have this centerpiece. We might as well be having review or something.
Might as well.
This is good. This is good cider.
Very good. So anyway, we're talking about season 7, episode 2 of Married to Medicine. Not the whole. Hey Sal, close your door.
The producer.
Oh my gosh. So any event. So we're not talking about the whole episode. Like I said last time, we're just talking about topics that are interesting. So what I would actually we're talking about 2 episodes combined into one. So episode 2 and 3. And what I wanted to talk about was Contessa. So Dr. Contessa, she's like she's a doctor. And she's married to a doctor.
No.
I'm gonna make up what kind of doctor she is. She's not like a dentist doctor. She's like a
she's in works in the
like a medical doctor. Yeah. So she's also married to a doctor, Dr. Scott. They may do about the same thing, like general health or something. And they have 3 children, so they're all under the age of 12. And in any event, this season, Dr. Contessa, she decides that she's going back to school. Now, this show is based in Atlanta. She decides to go back to school to get a PhD. I don't know. What would you get? I'm going to say a master's in public health. But she decided to go to school in Nashville. So,
which is in Tennessee.
Yeah.
For those of you who are not.
And I would say the distance from like how long did it take us to get to Knoxville from Nashville?
I think like Nashville kind of in the middle of Tennessee, and I think Atlanta.
Maybe like 3 or 4 hour drive.
I probably can GPS this.
Yeah, do that.
If you really clear.
Yeah. Well, in any event, I think she just, I don't know when she goes. Maybe she goes on, I don't know. But in any event, Contessa and her husband are having issues because she's decided to go and get this additional degree in another state, and he has to be at home, and he's basically being a single parent. So I didn't necessarily know how I felt about it, but as I thought it over, I'm like, I can see how he would feel the way he feels. And what did he say to her, Misty? Like the day she came back from Nashville. So Misty can explain what you can explain what happened.
One thing that happened was, by the way, it's about 4 hours away, depending on where you are in Nashville and where you are in Atlanta, Georgia. And when she got home, he was offended off the bat because she assumed that he hadn't fed the kids that late at night, right before bedtime.
Like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, they got out of school in the morning, and she assumed that he wouldn't have fed the kids or something. So she brings home McDonald's when he cooked steak, green beans, and probably mashed potatoes, whatever. So he was already offended.
And I feel like, I'm not gonna judge her because I give Knox McDonald's, not all the time, but you know what I'm saying. It's just like, I feel like that's a kid thing. Kids grow out of it, but you know, Happy Meal, kids love McDonald's, but I still feel like as a doctor, you probably should give your kids McDonald's.
Yeah, I would give a doctor.
She would probably like
I would give my dog McDonald's. But if I was a doctor, no offense, but if I was a doctor, my kids would be eating like humdingers or something. They wouldn't be eating no kind of Sonic and Burger King. They would be eating.
But I do think she did it because she was like, ooh, the kids probably don't get McDonald's, and since I've been gone, I'm like trying to suck up to them and everything late at night, giving them this. Well, in any event, Scott, he was upset. He said that this was a harebrained scam of hers. He's supposed to say scheme. And
I don't like that the doctor doesn't know idiomatic phrases or whatever those things are called.
Well, they're so full of knowledge about how the body works that
They
I
don't
will
know
give a pass on it.
phrases.
Cause he ain't no English.
Then she repeated it, said it's not a harebrained scam. So when she repeated it, it was like she didn't even know what it's really called. But obviously they're richer and smarter than me, so I cannot judge them.
But I will say this. So as I thought back over my life, well, their life, when they first came on the show, they had a nanny taking care of their kids, which is understandable, I guess, to a certain extent, because they're both medical doctors. So they had a nanny, a rude nanny. Then later on down, they fired the nanny. Later on down the line, Contessa, she decided she didn't want to be a doctor anymore. She wanted to stay at home and watch the kids. And Scott, he was a little pissed off about that too. He was like, I mean, I wish you would have made this decision before we bought this new house, depending on both of our incomes. And now this go round, Contessa's like, I don't know if I want to be a doctor anymore. I want to do public health. And I don't want to get my degree here in Georgia. I want to go to Nashville. And I don't really know what's popping in public health. I'm assuming that she's at Vanderbilt getting it or something. I don't know. But I would say I understand where he's coming from, because to me it seems like she does come up with these ideas. It's like, I really want to do it, and maybe like for him, he hasn't set boundaries with her a lot, and maybe he hasn't necessarily had to, but it's like with that, it's just like last year, like, I don't want to be a doctor, and then you decide, oh, I can't take this anymore. I do still want to work. So, comments, Missy?
Yes, I can see that he might feel a little offended because he's trying to plan his life around somebody who may change up on him again. So it's hard to build your life with somebody when you don't know the next thing they're gonna, what kind of major plan they're gonna make.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I guess he's just frustrated because he doesn't know, he might not know what's next. He has, young children, and he doesn't want them probably just the mother 4 hours away, and, he's be home every night, and, he's just probably not used to having to be a full-time worker and full-time parent.
Yeah, because they had that nanny, so it's not like, I don't think either one of them was used to being a full-time parent. And even myself, like, I don't think I would, like, before I used to be like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. But
she did say that.
But now it's like, y'all, as soon as Knox was able to go to daycare, I was so excited to get back to work. Like, I guess if you're someone who was raised to be, some people were raised to be
going home in church and
very domesticated. But I've been working since I was 16, and it's just like, I don't know, just it's not appealing. Now maybe if I was, because I'm a single mom, but if I was a rich woman or something, and staying at home really was like, I just send my child to Parents' Day out for a couple of days and I just go work out and shop. That might be a different story, but I don't think so. I think I'd always want to work, even if it's just like part-time or something, just, to feel useful. Not that stay-at-home moms aren't useful, because it's difficult being a stay-at-home mom, because kids are mad annoying. But maybe they ain't that annoying if you're used to staying at home with them.
I think kids are probably always annoying. I think even those, like, maybe for like the Duggar family, but maybe like disciplined, mild children.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not mild people. We're loud all the time. We're crazy here at the house. So Knox is just as crazy as we are, and she has the energy of like 2 boys, and she run around all day long.
And she's the only, and so she's very spoiled.
Yeah, so she's the queen of the castle. And so that's why we're talking so quietly now.
Yeah,
you got to hear us
loud
because we're trying to keep her asleep as long as possible, because if she hears us talking, she will come in this video.
Right, she'll start knocking the screen down. So Misty, that kind of makes me want to talk about, I guess, the topic of boundaries. And neither one of us is married, but I guess in relationships. So I can understand her wanting to go back to school and everything, but it's like really considering your spouse. Like, I guess when you get married, having to consider your partner. Is this your family? Missy, talk about it. Missy's a relationship expert.
Absolutely, good.
She reads a lot about it. I don't know if it's personal experience, but it's just she knows. Like you ain't gotta directly experience it to know.
Oh yeah, I ain't got to live it because I seen too much to want to avoid it. But I would just say that you don't know what you're gonna do in your future when you're 20 years old. I'm 35. I didn't think I had no plan for it to be like the way it is now. So you can't predict everything, but you can pretty much set up like your mind of how you're gonna respond to your spouse's desires. If you're gonna be like Heavenly's the kind of wife. Dr. Heavenly, she's the dentist on the show, and she has the attitude that no matter what happens, she's gonna be the primary home care, whatever you call it, homemaker, the primary child raiser, the primary cook. So like, it's not that. Like, even if things change, she already had her mindset up that I'm going to be a domesticated type woman, even if I'm a full-time dentist or part-time dentist. So I think even if you can't predict the future 20 years, when you're 20 years old, you don't know what you're going to do 20 years from then. But you can have an attitude like, I'm going to do this until I die. I'm going to always be submissive to my husband until I die.
Something about Heavenly that, like, because I guess I don't know. I feel like Dr. Dame is the type of person that lets you know up front what he expects. So you just have to get in line with it. So it's like, oh, okay. Because I feel like he has good boundaries. Like, he tells people, like, this is how it's supposed to be. This is what I expect. And so for her, it's like, if you're going, like, for him, he would actually prefer that Heavenly stay at home. He would rather she wasn't working at all. But he knows that, she's like a businesswoman. So since like Heavenly, she doesn't work as long as the other people do. And she's actually, to me, it appears that Dr. Heavenly has made her money work for her to where she doesn't have to be at work all the time. Like, she says, like, she does like a half day at work. So like it's like 4 hours or something. And then she has like multiple streams of revenue. So in order for her to be like, I still get money, but it's like I have time set aside to do what take care of my family. And I think that's really important. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but no, I mean, I think like if you have kids, not saying that you need to just stay at home, but you shouldn't be doing extra stuff to where you have to. I feel like you need to raise your kids as much as you can. You know what I'm saying?
If you only have 17 years to set them a certain direction, so
yeah, I mean
when you got 3 of them, it's gonna be a little longer, but
to be present, like, cause me, I would just to get money to get bills paid off and everything. I like to work a second job, but raising I have a child to raise. Like, I like to spend my time with her. So it's like, trying to make that more of a priority, spending time with Knox, like my free time. I'm not staying late after work to finish anything up. I mean, daycare kind of prevents it, but it's like I'm not staying afterward. I don't care about no overtime or nothing. Like, I have to spend time with my child, So I commend Dr. Heavenly on that. I mean, she has her priorities right. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you decide to get married, you do have to consider your spouse. And that's something she told Contessa. He was like, well, she said, where's a woman's place? A woman belongs at home. With a, I mean, it came off kind of wrong, like, but I get what she was saying. Like, men, I mean, I don't know. I just, for me, it's few men that I would trust to raise kids, especially with the majority of them being girls. Like, you have 2 girls and a boy. So it's just, I don't know. You could have just hired, maybe she didn't want to hire a nanny because, I don't know. It might be a young fine nanny. You have a curtain about she's a situation. Well, Miss, do you have anything to say?
Yes, you mentioned about priorities. And I agree that Dr. Jackie had the situation come up her priorities were always about work all the time, and she ended up having a husband having an affair on her, and then she started working less, and then their marriage is like we're doing really well right now. And so the only thing she changed was she worked less or something. Or she stopped. I think that she had her own separate apartment or something like that. So I think it's important. Or maybe she was looking into having one.
Well, no. She said he wanted to get a house, and she was like, "We don't need no big house because it's just us two." And then later on, she admitted, it's like, "I don't want to have a huge house," and it's like, "But for what? I didn't get to have kids. It just kind of reminds me that I don't have."
Okay, well, I think I saw them looking at this real tall condo somewhere. I thought maybe I'm confusing her with Dr. Simone, but
no, she was like, but she wanted to get a condo instead of a house.
But she wanted to be with her husband though.
Yeah.
But yeah, Simone she actually had her own place away from her husband, and so so I think her orders were like, I want my house to be clean, and I don't need men around my house. I'm just trash. So Simone went her own house because it was closer to her work and it was more peaceful, less junk, less men walking around. And so when women had their priorities wrong, two who were closest to divorce, well, not I mean, it's quite closest to divorce, but the other two who were close to divorce because of working was because I think because maybe too much, maybe it's too much. Their priorities were wrong.
Yeah, I don't think that they really considered their spouses. Like, if you're like a professional woman, and you're more accomplished.
If you're the breadwinner of the family, you kind of like, dude. Yeah. I call the shots here.
And then like to be like being a doctor, especially like an they're like obstetricians, so you're pretty like they're on call a lot. Like when it comes to like people having babies, I don't know how many people that had having babies, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be like, well, I can't do this at this time, but you can make your money work for you, and reserve some time, like But I understand, like as obstetrician, I would assume that you become very close to your patients and the children that they have. Like you're with other women who are going through things, so they don't necessarily have to be. Nah, I don't. We just got a special message from the producer. My producer.
We're fine, guys.
Yes. Okay. Let me see. Was there anything else from the show that you thought was interesting or to talk about?
Absolutely. Quad's unforgiveness.
Oh yeah.
She hit onto some old things, and but it was obviously bothering her, so she couldn't pretend it didn't bother her. But sometimes we have to make our issue, and if something happened a year ago and then we talked about it and you still feel mad about it, sometimes it becomes a personal problem, and you don't make it a relationship problem. It's just a personal problem, unforgiveness or moving on or playing pity party, playing the victim. So I think that Quad in this episode, and probably in all the episodes, she has a victim mentality, like, woe is me, you left me for dead, you done me wrong, you dug dishes for me. I mean, she knows every phrase there is about being hurt, harmed, and endangered. So I think, at some point, I kind of hold on to things a while in my head. I may not say it out loud, but I kind of hold it in my head a lot. But I don't make it nobody else's problem. It's not going to be on me on Facebook talking about it. It's going to, or Facebook status, or me confronting you on Instagram. It's just going to be in my own heart that I need to get over this.
Well, I think that maybe, I'm thinking about Quad situations, like, it made me think about like how I was reading Proverbs today. Proverbs 12 was talking about a fool. It said a fool gives
full vent to his emotion or something?
Like to his anger, but a prudent man doesn't, I guess doesn't show that he's mad about something. But then I'm also reading about boundaries and everything, and so of course, your feelings are your feelings. That's how you feel. But you also, when I thought about Quad's situation, I feel like, we all need to work on being emotionally, I can't think of the word, emotionally intelligent, like for ourselves, but also for other people, and knowing how to disarm a situation. Like Quad and Simone, they got into it, but it was just like, these are two people who are not, I guess, I don't know, so like, yeah, I guess not very emotionally intelligent, but it made me think, it's like, with what Quad was saying, not, like, I guess when you come into a situation, not being defensive, even when the person is coming for you, and it's like, I was thinking about, like, how could that have been done, like, better? Like, Quad, basically, she was asking, like, why did you go off on me about that? We already talked about it.
And Simone was not going. She said, I know you ain't talking about.
But it was like
two emotionally immature people.
Yeah, and it was also because Quad came there like basically an hour late. I ain't gonna say thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. You took an hour to get. But yeah. First of all, somebody's an hour late. Like, you give people 15 minutes and then you leave.
You leave. You don't even have to tell
me. I'm not gonna tell you. Right.
But it's like, you don't care to tell me you're late. I don't have to tell you.
Like, you don't invite me somewhere and you be 15.
Basically, after you kind of reconcile, and I'm thinking that, no, she's looking forward to this meeting. I'm looking forward to this meeting. I'm excited. I dressed up real cute. I'm telling my husband, hey, I'm gonna make up with my friend of a year, and then I know Simone's really excited about that reconnection. I think it hurt her that I'm so excited about this, but obviously she's not excited about it.
And then she jumped right into even though small talk, she just wanted to get right to it. But, first of all, like, I feel like if you're in a situation to where like, somebody's late, and you already know this going to make you be pissed off, you have to do, Michelle said something today, she was like, if your problem can be solved by an action, then
you don't have a problem.
You don't have a problem. You just need to do something. So if someone being late, it's like, I'm not going to, like, if I know I'm going to have a funky attitude about you being late, I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to
There's not going to be no kumbaya after I'm waiting an hour. There's not going to be no kumbaya moment.
Yeah. And then you jump right on me. But let's just suppose that Quad came on time and then she jumped right into it. Instead,
I wouldn't have wasted an hour after I stormed out.
Yeah. Instead, it's like I'm not going to look at, I guess, I'm not going to be offended by what you're saying. I'm just going to basically you're hurt that I went off on you. So let me just address that. Like, I apologize that I went off, but I felt this way about what you did. You know what I'm saying? Like, to resolve the issue. But, and with Quad, like Dr. Jackie said, it's like, you're not taking responsibility for anything. She didn't think that she did anything wrong, but if I'm your friend and, I have you out here helping me look for my dad who went missing, and we share all this stuff, but both of them, I guess, you kind of have to know who your friend is. Like, Quad is a closed off person, and it's embarrassing to be like, your dad dying. That's
kind of, you can't really have, it's public. That's like, death is public.
Yeah, but your husband.
Everyone lost that man, but only Quad lost her husband.
Right. And no, I mean, this is not even gonna say no offense, but Quad is fine, and her husband was like to be cheated on by someone who I would be very hurt.
It was like Toya's husband cheating, like, he's kind of lame and everything. A good lame, not like I'm trying to lame, like, not a hood type of dude. He's such a hood dude to cheat. But like, get over.
I'm saying like somebody physically attract. Like, if Kenya Moore husband, if he cheated, be like, okay, well, he's fine.
But if it was like Nene's husband, like,
now we ain't Nene husband. He look like
because he's older. It's like,
but he still kind of he look like a sugar daddy.
He's an attractive guy. I'm like, if somebody who's much older than me cheats on me, or not as attractive as me, or not as cool as me cheats on me, and I didn't cheat on them first, it makes me look like I'm just not the prize. I thought I was all of this, and now in you all's eyes, I had been. I think she felt like she dropped in value.
Yeah, and then like it's also a lot of stuff that went on behind the scenes that she was dealing with him. So it's just like me. I'm not gonna say it was some type of abuse. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was physical, but
she did say send her down on the ground, but
I think before she came with that knife.
I think abuse to me it has to be more than one time. Like it's an attack, it's an assault when it's one time. Mm-hmm. But if it's like repeatedly,
I think he was probably emotionally abusive to her. Like
I think so.
He thought
he seemed like he was kind of like he got a mean streak to him.
Yeah, so like for her, like when you're being like emotionally like it's to look at. To people, I guess when people look at Quad and like, oh, Quad's so strong, she would, like she didn't seem like she would put it with it, but it's just like it's different when you're in a relationship with someone and they start like of course men or people who are abusive in general, they don't start off like, y'all on the first date, it's like subtle and it just starts. It eats away slowly. It's like
it's the death of 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, so.
Paper cuts, 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah, so I think
she was very
like no one's thinking about the other person and how they look at it. It's like, you have to be honest, like you have to tell like people they're not going to know what you're going through unless you tell them. And since Quad never told anyone what she was going through with her husband until
they knew her husband, they knew him, probably only they knew her. So
yeah, they probably thought he was.
It's my husband friend, and he's a good guy.
Yeah, and they think they thought he was like the good guy
who she would give a child to, mm-hmm. And then it turns out that he probably makes little snarky comments about her. She keeps her body looking amazing. She gets her hair making done. She cooks like home cooked food. She got her own job. So it's like she's a good woman. She just said maybe
and I remember like in the earlier episodes, like when she was starting, because she was like, I want to be able to have my own stuff because she don't trust a man always he could do because I think her dad and her mom got a divorce and he was like cheating on her mama or something. She was like you gotta always have your own, so she has that in her background and then it's like you wind up marrying somebody. And I remember she started that the puppy couture line and Greg, this was seasons earlier.
Greg was it Greg?
What's his name?
It's Nene's husband.
I thought that was Greg too.
Maybe it's two Gregs.
Greg, we're gonna call him Greg. Quiet husband. He gonna be Greg. And he was like kind of being a little condescending about what she was doing. Like he wouldn't support her. Like, oh, you the dog. I wouldn't buy no dog couture.
Yeah, I don't know. Did she still have her store?
Google it. Last year she did.
You sure will.
Last year she did, but. I mean, I would buy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you're my husband, you need to just support me. It's not, I think she used some of his money, but you don't need to be making me feel bad about what I'm doing if I'm really into it. So he seemed like he had low self-esteem. Me and Tamir were talking about this earlier. It's like, if you're with someone who makes you feel insecure, like, and they're not intentionally making you feel insecure, you're just insecure, should you be in a relationship at all? Or should you just and I'm like, you shouldn't be. Like, you should, that means you need to go work on things. It's like, if your spouse or your significant other having, suppose, you worked at Hobby Lobby and your spouse worked at...
Yep, it's still open. Okay.
Let me see. And your spouse...
It's called Picture Perfect Pup. Check it out in Atlanta.
Picture Perfect Pup. You got a website. If you worked at Hobby Lobby and your spouse worked at an executive at FedEx, and you feel like, oh, well, they feel like I'm not... Well, we're not going to say spouse. We'll say your boyfriend or girlfriend. And you feel like they think less of you because of your job. But they never made you feel that way. I don't know. Should you be with them? Should people be on their, stay in your lane. Like,
I actually asked on Facebook. I said, fellas, would you date a woman if she was sitting in a car nicer than yours? If you were, let's say you were in a Toyota and she was sitting in a Maserati or like a really nice car, would you approach her? And a lot of people were like, yeah, sure I would. Yeah, sure I would. You know, so I was thinking how I would be insecure. Mm-hmm. I would think the man would be like, oh no, she's above my league, whatever, she's out of my league. But apparently, some men, especially African American men, everyone who responded was African American men. One dude said he didn't even have a car. He approached when she married his wife, they have a child and everything. Both very successful, very smart people. So I just know that me, I would want to date a person who's out of my league. Cause I would feel insecure, like are my clothes not good enough, and I don't get my nails, my makeup, my hair done. But if they can level you up, then and you're okay with it, like Anna Nicole Smith level up with an organ tycoon, then do it.
Yeah. So. Well, okay. So, like, suppose, like, you're someone and you struggle, like, if you have, like, weight problems, suppose that, and then you have a significant other who is, like, very fit and everything. Would you
fitness trainer?
Yeah, like a fitness trainer or somebody, like, just, would you feel insecure about dating this person because you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think people, if you're basically a fitness trainer, people gonna look to you and be like that's what I think. That's why I was NFL athletes. A lot of them would leave their girlfriend they had for years, and if she not have this exotic look that they want. Cause I feel like when they walk in a room at a party in Hollywood, everyone's gonna look at your girlfriend on the red carpet, or they're gonna look at you and take a picture of you, put you on TMZ or the blog, and say, "Who is this basic girl?" People like.
That's what I appreciate. And this will be so shady, but I mean, it's not shady, but she's not the worst. What's that man's name from what's your friend name? Light skin with the wife.
That's real general.
Power.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was talking about his wife.
They were so mad. I think they were most mad because she looks Caucasian. I think she is mixed, but she looks.
Well, I don't think that they were. I don't think that there was a problem. It was just that they said she looked like a Russian. She wasn't light skinned. She was white. They said she like a Russian spy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mark Harvey being light skinned. Yeah,
he's something. But like, I guess people were like, "This is wife." Like, she don't even like. You know what I'm saying? To be a woman with a man that looks better than you, it's like women. We can date unattractive men. It's like
Do they older men? Can they unattractive men? Can they?
Societal pressure on men to look a certain way. Too much, really. Well, nowadays it kind of is. But yeah, so I just think that maybe in cases like that, you know what I'm saying? I guess you need to date. You do need to consider. That's not really, like
I wouldn't date a superstar. I know I would get rocked every time I hit the red carpet. Like, who's this basic Afro wearing thing?
Yeah, I would never date a darn Lenny Kravitz or like somebody.
And after that, like I would look like tattered clothing.
Yeah, we gotta be.
Cause they don't know my clothes. Where you get them clothes from? I'm like, pay those clothes. I'm not wearing the name, so I personally would not date a celebrity unless he really leveled me up. Not like taking surgery.
I don't even want to be leveled up like
I can't leave the house unless I'm beat to the heavens.
I don't want to do all that. Like I don't want to have to do that. So I would.
Or you get teased and you get made fun of.
Yeah, it's just like men, something like I need something who's like down to earth, but it's like. You ain't really that down to earth. Like, you be stunning and taking pictures with your shoes and showing off your rings. Like, you need to find someone who wants to play dress up and do all those things. And I'm not that type of person. Like, I like to get dressed up once in a while, but for the most part.
And I wouldn't mind dressing up a lot if I had places to go. I'm not going to dress up to go to work at a dialysis clinic.
I don't even want places to go, though. I barely want.
I would love to go. I love to be out in the wear about some things.
I like to too, but it's like
I'm
I
not
don't want
gonna
to dress up though.
I
I just want to be there looking.
I'm not gonna have a makeup artist do my makeup for an hour a day, 2 hours a day. That's to me, it's ridiculous. Burn all your hair out, all them sew-ins. I'm not gonna do this every day.
And this is the story of Helen Keller. See,
they're not gonna be me because my skin, the way my skin is built. No, ma'am.
So,
and I need my edges to come back. So I cannot have sew-ins forever and, nails thin from nails all the time. Like, so, notches up, guys. Good night. You'll bring her in?
Huh? Yes, we'll bring her in.
Okay.
Keep talking to me.
So, in conclusion, regarding the episode, I think she said season 7, episode 2. I would say that, these women, they have issues, just like the rest of us have issues, rich or not. Emotional immaturity, that still plays a role, whether you're rich or not. Adultery, being cheated on, friendship issues, gossip, rumors. They're just like I saw it from tape, they're like any other woman. You have miscarriages, divorce. Just because you're rich in Atlanta does not mean you don't have issues that are common to man. So, medicine-wise, just like us, they have the same issues we have, and we can watch your shows. We can see, hey, Knox, she like walking up by herself. We can watch the shows as we can see a lot of things that affects all of us. We have a lot we can learn from these women.
We can. What were you saying?
Just a little nice, trying to wrap up.
Oh.
I was saying that women, like when we watch their stories, we see that a lot of issues that they struggle with is the same no matter what socioeconomic status that you're in. The same issues they had. So when we watch their shows, we can still see, like, okay, and we kind of learn about our lives and like, okay, because of emotional maturity, adultery, priorities with your husband,
That's goodness, because I want to say something about that. I don't like when people be like, I ain't reality TV. It's fake. And it's like, so what you be watching? Like, you watch other shows that are fake.
Empire, like, those are not real.
Yeah, like, real life is real life, but it's just like, it's going to be staged somewhere, but it's like, you can still...
And I think they do. They make stage. I think they make stage like fundraisers. They make stage like we had this event. I think they do stage like. I think a lot of reactions they're like, hey, you need to have this single come out. You need to have this fundraiser. Yeah. I think some of their events are staged because they can like not be boring, have a storyline. But I think a lot of those like they be laughing at each other and telling each other's business. I think some of that stuff is really like, why'd you do that?
But that thing's like you can learn something from anything. Like,
you good or bad, because the Bible is full of scandals.
Right. Yeah, like
you can learn.
We learn a lot of things from like looking at other people's mistakes. It's not all the good stuff, because I don't know, that's y'all lives. Maybe y'all just have them pure lives where you just feed the homeless,
conflict,
and hug babies and kiss kittens and everything.
Cook dinner, go home, and wake up for work, and go to class, and no scandal, no. But everyone has interpersonal issues, and so I actually learned a lot from these. I learned a lot from even forensic file shows. I learned a lot about warning signs, when you're dating somebody. I learned a lot. Anything I watch, I can learn a lot from. It's like the Bible. Yeah. The Bible is full of scandal, unbelievers, murder, sex problems, everything, and I learned the most. So, I'm not saying I'm not comparing reality TV to the Bible. I'm just saying, if you're smart and discerning and want to know and intentional, you can learn from anything.
Right. Yeah.
And you can not just get corrupted by it. You can actually grow from it and make good decisions.
Right. And marriage medicine is one of the least
ratchet.
Yeah. It's
because they all got jobs they got to go back to, so they can't act up too bad.
Right. And it really focuses on, like, I guess I think a lot on their like their real lives. I mean, of course, like, this little stage, but it's like it's things in there that are mixed, like
the miscarriage, their families, and the infidelity. That's real.
Yeah.
Tax problems. That's real. Friends they married up for 2-3 years. That's real.
Heavenly had problems, like she, I guess hadn't been home in several years, like problems with, I guess, coming to terms with issues that she had as a child, she never got to play outside. She was like the smart sister.
Yeah, I think her sister was like the smart sister. She was the pretty one. So she
it's like family issues.
Yeah, it's like a lot of issues that it's like a Tyler Perry play. It's just like a lot of like, what in the world? But it's like, you can always learn, like I said, you can learn from any. You don't only learn from watching the Duggar Family. And what's the Partridge Family? Where you learn,
and
you can learn from
watching
Brady
Duggar Family.
Like you can learn from the worst stories in the best. Not you should model your lives off the best ones, but you can learn a lot about what not to do. Like I ain't gonna do like what she did. So I learned a lot from what I should do.
Now you all know what you can and can't do would set you off, but so I ain't gonna say that. But it's like if you ain't watched it, don't be over there telling me, shut up. You just saying what everybody else been saying, cause it seems like the thing to say. Reality TV is bad. It shows us in a bad light.
And I know, like,
whatever.
Steve Harvey was saying, this was like 3 years ago, he was saying, this show is so fake because no woman's gonna, my wife's not gonna sit around with a bunch of women that she don't like, show. But I'm like, Steve Harvey, your life is a scandal. Like, you've had three marriages, you were.
Yeah, 3 marriages?
Yeah, what's his third one? His third wife, like, your wife is, like, always crazy up in her bedroom, like, you are the scandal. You know what I'm saying? So, people try to, like, I say, it is, some stuff it is, of course, they do force them to go on vacation together and have dinner together. It's stuff is, they do make them stay together for recording purposes, but I'm just saying
it's
that,
gonna be interesting. We ain't just gonna sit there and watch you,
like, cry, do her toes, and then individually Mariah do her, like, we're gonna want, we just want to see interaction. So, I'm not saying I condone promoting black women in a bad light, but I'm just saying that if I'm gonna do something that's not,
it ain't no love in hip hop.
Yeah, like I said,
I don't really watch it anymore, but not on some judgmental stuff. It's just,
So some computers like that, some computers kind of phase out of, or you just not, there at the moment. But like I really got out of bag or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So so I do watch something I can learn from. Like if I can't learn from it, like I just kind of have to learn. So I can learn from a lot of stuff. Yeah. So again, I'm not saying that I condone. Like, I wouldn't have a bunch of young people watching it and then it's like, I gotta be like her, I gotta get breast implants like her, I gotta wear makeup like her. Like, I'm not the kind of person who would be influenced by people. I see their lives and I'm like, I don't want to be like them at all. Like, when I see their lives, I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be.
If I had my child watching anything, she would watch Mary Smith.
Yeah, so it's like, for me, if you're influenceable, if that's a word, maybe you probably kind of money hungry one. Like, I gotta marry me a doctor and I gotta give me this nice house and get this new hair and get these breast implants. But with me, I'm not the kind of person. So when I watch you, I'm just studying you like I study animals and Discovery Channel. Like, oh, that's how the lion gets. I'm observing you from a distance, and I don't want nothing to do like your life. But that's the thing. The core I do admire about their lives. Like I admire only going back to school to get her, 3 children, married. She go back to school to chase her dream. Mm-hmm. I think that's admirable. Yes. If she can do it, I can do it. Dr. Jackie staying with her husband during a hard time, I support it. He got the food out of her.
And she's so disciplined about her health.
Oh yeah, she.
Because a lot of people they may have like breast cancer, any kind of cancer. It's but like her, she don't drink. She don't.
She's really healthy and everything.
Works out. It's like
So I learned from them. Just like you learn from your parents. Parents making bad decisions. And then you learn from him. I know what I want to do with my mom did, my dad did, and not what they did. God didn't just give you perfect, Partridge family, Brady family, Duggar family parents. He knew you were gonna learn from them what not to do and what to do. And so I could look at these people. They're not my mama, but I could look at them and say, I want to do this like Jackie and like this like Simone. And I like Simone's family. I love her family. Like they all, how they come together. I like they had a really good scene in this episode. They all big group hug at the end, and they told her that she needs to tone down her anger. So I actually learned a lot of how I want my life to be, my marriage and relationships to be and not to be. From watching my man gonna have to work a job, unlike Simone's husband taking a year off, it's not gonna happen.
Don't let him come for you, Misty.
Jackie's husband, he's gonna be tweeting on me about my house needs to be pressure washing like that. And then like Dr. Jackie's husband, he's gonna retire. I'm not gonna, so you can learn a lot. If you think you're gonna be corrupted by reality TV, praise the Lord. Let me get the baby, not the bath water. But if you don't want to watch it, that's
I'm going to say Married to Medicine, they probably doing a whole lot better than most of y'all, so.
Yes. I'm sure a lot less ratchet.
Yeah, a lot less ratchet than most
what people really doing.
Yeah. So.
But they got a lot to do.
Thank you. Right. They got a lot to do. Thank you, Misty, for being my host, for being so classy-based.
Very classy.
As always.
By the way, this cup was empty. I just was doing it all for the show. This is all scripted. These are not real pumpkins. These are not real leaves. It's all scripted.
And happy fall, y'all.
Happy fall, y'all.
All right,
Yeah,
you're gonna turn it off. I'll sing a song. Do-do, do-do.